Alright, now we move on to the methods of time recording. So here, what we are going to record in order to pay for the wages to our workers. Alright, so what is our objective? So objective here as a basis in order to calculate the wages. So next one is also as a basis for labor cost analysis. So it means that we like to analyze the wages given to the workers. Alright, last one. So we are going to use this one as a planning and controlling as a workforce in our organization. So what are the methods involved? So here is actually only 4, but it's actually in real life there are so many things that the nowadays method of recording in order to pay for the salary. Alright, number 1 is actually clock card, or normally we call this one as a punch card. You have to clock in when you come in, and then after you finish your work, then you have to clock out. Alright, daily or weekly timesheet. So what is timesheet? It's actually a piece of paper recording the number of hours worked. Alright, it could be daily and it could be weekly. Alright, next is a job ticket or job card. So what is a job ticket or job card? It's actually a card recording the time spent on a work or on a particular job. Because why? Because in order to keep track the progress of the job, and also we have to keep track all the costs incurred. Alright, here what can I give you an example here? For example, alright, the workers would like to have do the house renovation for Mr. A. For example, the house renovation will take in 3 months, so they have to record this job ticket or job card for 3 months, but they have to do it regularly. Alright, okay. And then last one is operation card or piecework tickets. Is actually here is going to be stated the units of output that already completed by the workers in order to pay for the salary. Alright, now we move on to the next slide. So what is the remuneration method, or in order to pay the wages? So what are the method that we have? Alright, so the methods here, so these are the basic method. Number 1 is time based, so it means that we are going to pay them based on the hours work. And the other one is based on the output system, or based on the unit produced by the workers. Alright, so here the total wages is actually refers to basic wages plus with overtime and bonus. But it's actually for the time-based system, we have the basic wages and also we have the overtime. Okay, and normally bonus also we are going to give. Alright, but for the output piece rate system, based on output, normally bonus, we don't have bonus here. Okay, overtime. We do not give the overtime because normally we are not paid for the extra hours work. So what we have is actually we have the basic wages and also we have the bonus. It depends on the output. Are they producing more or less? Alright, now we move on to the other slide. Okay, so what is time base? Okay, so how are we going to calculate for the salary of based on time or based on the hours work? So I think this is very simple. So how to get the basic salary? So we calculate the basic hours work and then we times the rate. For example, you work 40 hours in a week, so here is going to be 40 hours. Alright, and then you write a rate per hour. For example, you are being given 4 ringgit per hour. So what will be your salary for that week? Is 40 times 4 ringgit. You are going to get 160 ringgit. So under this scheme, so employee is paid based on the time of hours worked, just like what I said before. So extra hours for the employees, so this one we call as the overtime. So overtime I will cover later. For example, I give you example. If this person worked 50 hours, alright, so the 40 hours is the basic for 1 week. So you have the other 10 hours. So the 10 hours is actually for the overtime. I'm going to teach you to calculate the overtime in other slide. Alright, next we move on to next slide. Alright, so here just like what I said just now, I give you another example. Alright, here example, basic rate is actually, for example, 12 ringgit. And then if you work for 40 hours, so this is the normal hours, normal hours is 40 hours. So what you have to do, you take the basic hours of 40 and then you time the rate, which is 12 ringgit. So what will be your salary? Which is 480 ringgit per week. So this is per week, so we have to get the per week's answer. Alright, now we move on. Output base. Okay, what about output base? So output base is actually we are going to pay the salary based on the output that the workers produce. Alright, so what you have to do, we have to take the number of units that the person produced and then we times with the rate per unit. For example, she produced 100 ringgit. Okay, for example, the rate for 1 unit is 1 ringgit. So what we have to know here, if basic one, so 100 times 1 ringgit equals to 100. Okay, for example here. Alright, so here based on an output or piecemeal system or piece rate system is the incentive scheme where the payment to the output or unit produced. So how much the employee produce? So that one we have to times with the rate. For example, it's stated here, the more the employees produce, so they will earn more. Okay, they will earn more based on the amount that they produce. So this one we call it is a give incentive to employees to increase production. So they are really excited doing their work in order to produce more since they are going to get more salary. Alright, now we move on to the other slide. Okay, so here for the output based system, okay, we have 3 types. So right, number 1 is actually based on a straight piecework. We name it as a flat rate or standard time rate. So it means that is a standard. How many units we produce? Then we just time, just like I gave an example before. Alright, number 2, we have differential piecework. Alright, the third one is piecework with guaranteed minimum. So we come back afterwards or for further explanation. Alright, so here we move on to straight piecework. For example here, alright, for example here, this very simple straight piecework. For example, flat rate, so they give us basic rate, the price is 2 ringgit per unit. Alright, how much she produced? For example, 200 units. So what will be her salary? Will be number of produced 200 and then you times with 2 ringgit per unit. So you are going to get 400 ringgit. So this is the example.